People ask me all the time, where did you learn to fish? How did you get into this? It was my grandma. So when I was very little, she would walk me down to the docks, and we started with bullheads and perch and whatever we got. And then my grandpa was a salmon fisherman. So fast forward, I catch my first steelhead. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I take it to her, fillet it, and then she taught me how to cook it. And her favorite way is what we're gonna do tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's a keeper.
I'm Matt O'Neill, and this is Kyle Busheman, and we are here in beautiful Fisherman's Paradise filming our first episode of the Guides Journal. How did we get to this point and come up with this idea, Kyle?
Well, you know, the Guides Journal is a few things. You know, we document to be successful. We keep track of what we do so that we can replicate it or change it.
And part of the reason why we're putting this together, we're calling it the Guides Journal, is because we want to share with the viewer our knowledge and what we've learned from our forefathers in a lifetime of doing this. One of the things that we're going to be doing with the show is the same thing we do every day when we're on the river. We're preparing meals, we're taking the clients back to the cabin or the campsite. There's something special about catching a steelhead, showing our clients how to fillet the fish, teaching them our recipes.
And whatever we catch is part of the show. And like today, we're gonna put together some steelhead. I'm pretty excited about it.
And the recipes that we're teaching are recipes that have been around for centuries, that our forefathers were cooking on the fire. And not only that, we're gonna do a lot of tutorials that explain how to rig up, what the water levels are like, how to boat a certain section of water.
If you look outside, it's snowing really good. And we have weather issues. We have high water events. It's been raining and it's not ideal conditions. And we're still gonna put something together. And that's the challenge right now, is working around Mother Nature and everything else.
Well, we showed up, this river was chocolate milk, and now it's getting a little greener, a little better shape. You never know what to expect. Can you explain, kind of what happens over here when the weather gets like this?
Well, it's winter steelhead, and it's always tough weather.
Mother Nature, brother.
It's hard to plan. You have to be fairly flexible to be a steelheader. The river jumped up 6 feet in one day, actually, it went up like that, and it was very low.
Well, we didn't expect this at all, snow, but it should come with no surprise when you're trying to fish winter steelhead in Oregon.
Ooh, it's cold.
A light rain today is what we were supposed to get, and we have a lot of snow. It's going to create some challenges, but we're going to do it and see what we can get out of it. Slow start, let the water warm up a bit if it even does that. So it's challenging. If you ask me where to fish in Oregon for steelhead, it would be the Siletz River. We have about 24 miles of good fishable water that is flexible. The Siletz River is a tribal area, and one of the neat things about that is we've been able to work with the tribes to help with fish numbers and management, and it's exciting stuff.
Kyle, can you explain a little bit about these steelhead? What's the difference between the steelhead and salmon when they enter the river? What do they do?
Well, steelhead are a trout, sea-run trout, and the steelhead can do multiple trips. Salmon do one. So 4
salmon
years.
Come up, spawn, and die.
Yeah, 3 to 4 years in the ocean, they come up, spawn, migration over. Steelhead, 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years potentially, they come up and can go back.
I have seen Kyle fishing for years, and this guy's always looking good. I'm not just talking about his good looks. I'm talking about his boat is the best boat you see out there. It's just looking nice. His gear is organized, and he's fishing consecutive days, day after day after day, so he knows where these fish are.
So this is a drift boat, and there's a lot of different types of drift boats on the market. This one's made in Oregon. It's actually a Pavati. It's pretty nice. Everything's modular. I got doors to get in and out. It's a super stable boat, so it's great for big groups. I could fish 3 people, no problem. some of the fisheries that I do, a motor is crucial for getting upriver to fish a run again, getting through the slack water, and this boat handles this very well. So it's kind of a nice little bonus, and it's pretty comfortable. And they're kind of fishy too, so I like that. But yeah, this is a great boat. What I'm doing today for steelhead is we're doing what we call bobber dogging. Little bobber fishing. We have a weight. These cut floats are designed for bobber dogging, and it's a method, essentially, we're drift fishing with an indicator or a bobber. I have a bobber stop at about 8 feet up the line. That's kind of my average depth that I think that we're going to have for our presentation today. The setup is extremely simple. I have about a 3-foot leader, a 15-pound line to a size 1 hook. On that, I have a little glass bead you can kind of see I have tied on there. Kind of the best method that we find for a lot of this fishing is beads. It's a very simple yet effective way. It's a presentation base, and you can see I got different sizes here. They're all rubber. This is a 16 millimeter bead, pink pearl, one of my favorites, so that's going to go on first. Maddie up there is fishing a pink pearl as well. I also like to have, in many cases, a dropper rig. So I have one with a loop already tied. You kind of see that. And again, that's a size 2 hook, same bead situation. I tie them with what we call a Duncan loop, so I can have quick off and on. With the dropper's not needed, but anytime you can put 2 baits in the water, why not? I'm going to go with another big bead, another 16 mil in that. And then again, I run it dead center, and I'm going to slide that above the glass bead. That's kind of the stop. So these are generally a couple fingers above the hook. The idea is they float neutral buoyant, presentation's pretty natural. The fish grab that, and then the hook gets them. Yeah, so depth-wise, I talked about the slider. These are 9-foot rods. So I have a bobber stop right here, and that's actually about 6 foot, I would assume, 6 to 7 feet. So I always like to reel up to the tip and then gauge first guide, second guide, third guide up. And we should be somewhere to start today between the first and second guide of the reel. And I want them the same so that our presentation and our drift speeds are the same. And we're ready. I think let's go catch a fish. Winter steelheading, this is kind of what people picture, is this. Every time I talk to clients, they always say they want to fish in the snow. What about you, Matt? What do you think?
This is beautiful right now. The water conditions are almost perfect, and it's not freezing. I mean, how many days are you steelhead fishing when you have the eyes of your rod freezing up?
Yeah,
right?
a lot.
You're dipping it in the water to try to take the frost off. What a great drift. Looks so fishy.
It is fishy. We keep fishing like this, we're going to find some chrome for sure.
Yeah.
It's on. We got a fish, guys. We got a fish. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish.
What a beautiful fish.
The shot is nice. Just take your time with them. It looks like a keeper, honestly. I'm going to slowly go upstream to get out of this tail out.
Beauty.
Take your time. There you go. Oops. Guys, watch your balance, please. Watch your balance. I got to get moved away a little bit. Okay. I'm ready now, bud.
Okay.
If you can get him this way.
All right.
Yep, just whatever I can do. Hold up. Okay.
Not yet.
Nice and slow right here. Oh! And it's a keeper.
Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Beauty.
Whew. That was first pass by the waterfall. And look, it's a hatchery fish. See that? Yeah, so the hatchery fish, when they're smolt, we trim that off in the hatchery and let them in the river, and then they go to the ocean, come back looking like this. And we're gonna eat this one. So that's a major bonus, dude.
Thank you, sir. I'll tell you what, first cast right next to a waterfall doesn't get any better than this. I set that hook so hard I flew back in the boat, man. I was excited. I've been thinking about this for days.
No, and look we got on this bead right here, and size 2 hook, a bead hook, and that's it. It's pretty simple.
And so one of the things with these rubber beads that most of my clients do because they're inexperienced, they don't set. And if you don't set, you don't catch the fish.
So we got a steelhead today, pretty exciting, but now we're gonna go over how to prepare this for ready to eat. So filleting a steelhead, lots of ways of doing it. I like an electric knife. So I'm gonna get rid of some fins. Once I have that done, I'm gonna just run my knife all the way up. So that's done. I always take my knife, kind of come under the fin and go down to the bone. And let's let this thing work down the bone. Right all the way down, pretty easy. And then come out here and pop it. And you can see we have a nice fillet. Look at that backbone. There's not a lot of waste on there with the electric knife. Makes a really good fillet. Do it again on this side. And pop it up. So got that. There's minimal waste on that steelhead right there. Pretty nice. So now that I have all that done, I want to get rid of the belly bones. Nice sharp knife. Kind of start it there. I just kind of dig in a little bit and then make a spot, and then I kind of work my knife down there, and then I kind of fillet them off. I take my knife and I always make a finger hole, drop it in the bucket, and you can see I have a really nice clean fillet. And that's what we got. Nice steelhead and very clean.
Special thanks to Kodiak Rods. He made a beautiful rod, arrowheads, camo, hunter, gatherer theme for our show. Really nice, 9.9, great components, and caught our first fish today.
And we call it the moonshine drop. It's really not that big of a deal unless you do it wrong. But that's a big deal then.
It sinks a few boats every year.
Just go downstream, right around the corner at the point, and we'll meet you there. And you'll see us fish through and just kind of follow us after that.
Fish on.
Because I gotta
Coming behind you.
We're gonna get this fish, get ready, because he might be ready. He's not the biggest, but don't like him to jump. Oops, just hold on. Almost, not quite ready. Okay, 1, 2. And we got there another.
Can't tell.
It's another keeper, guys.
Wow.
Nice, right here, bud. And then I like to bleed these fish out because we're gonna eat them. And then head down so that blood runs out of their meat. So it'll make for better cutting, and then later on we'll do that. So we've gotten 2 keepers. So these are fish that we're going to be able to keep, and it's so cold I just got them still in the bucket. So that's good. Now we want to wild fish. We here on the Siletz River, we got a program called the Broodstock Program. And that is how we get our keeper fish. We recreate our hatchery fish. Genetically, it's closer to the wild fish. And I got a box here with a live well, and the way we can keep some water flowing in it if we get one. But the key element is a wild steelhead, so I think we'll get a chance at it.
So I'm going to do a different type of steelhead. Very basic. A lot of times we try to overdo fish. And what's neat about it is my grandma taught me this. Steelhead don't always have a lot of fat in the meat, so adding mayonnaise works. So what I'm going to do here to start is I'm going to do a light salt over the fish, do a light pepper. I'm going to try to just make sure that the fish is covered in pepper. I am definitely going to use lemon because it always works for fish. And I'm just going to do that right over the edge like that. And then this is something different. This is like chipotle roasted garlic. And garlic works too. But you got to be gentle with it. So I'm going to just come and just kind of touch the fish pretty liberally. Because I'm going to take that knife and I'm going to make sure that the fish is completely covered. Like when you're talking about long days and having something that's tasty and you can make yourself look like you know what you're doing, this is a very easy recipe. I like putting the grills at 375. 350 has always been like the staple, but I don't have patience, so 375 works very well. It might take 20 minutes at 375. What the mayo does is it adds fat and flavor. A lot of fat to the meat.
I love it. I'm getting hungry. Let's dig in, buddy.
Right there!
That thing hit right on cue, right where we missed that last one, Matt. Oh, there we go.
Beautiful.
Whew. Another one. That's awesome, guys. Awesome,
job.
awesome.
A little bigger fish right there.
Yeah. Let's let that, is that one already spawned out? Kind of, it's pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
It did?
Yeah, it's a little scratched up. I think this is a spawner. Let's let him go.
Let's do it. Let's be quick with that. Why don't you pop that out and get it right back in the water, okay? What a nice fish. We'll let that one go. Well, another fish. That's exciting. Right where we needed it to land, too. We needed that one right there.
Okay, here we go. Hazy hazelnut steelhead in a muffin pan. So my grandpa Harry, back in the old days, he taught me this recipe where he takes a muffin pan, he puts a muffin pan in the fire, and he gets it hot, and then he puts fish, meat, other things in these muffin pans, and you pop them out, and they're just really good. So what we can do is we can take the little pellet grill, and we can do the same thing tonight. And we can give the viewers our little recipe from Grandpa Harry.
I like it.
I didn't even know they had cupcake pans back then, but they did. And the coolest part about the rest of this recipe is I'm gonna add something. It's a red beer from a local Viking brewery. So what I'm gonna do, I'll put a little drop in there. It's gonna kind of boil and base this. And try to cook it the same way Grandpa Harry used to cook on the open fire, but we're gonna use a pellet stove. So I'm putting a little cap right on there, and that's gonna keep those flavors right inside there. I'll tell you what, you can cook it on a wood pellet stove at about 350 degrees. But what I like to do when I'm camping, I like to take this and stick it on the open fire. And you just kind of have to watch it. When it starts bubbling and getting caramelized, and it's done. And absolutely delicious. and you pop them out, they're like little cupcakes.
Thank you, Grandpa Harry.
This next hole, it's called the money hole. It's my favorite stretch. Good riffle, good water. If you guys can find something and tuck in tight to the bank and hold, do it. Like anywhere down in here in the next 100 yards. Come on, fish. Keep good tension, Matt. We're gonna run this thing downriver just a touch. Ooh. Okay, we bring it this way. We can do this. Woo! Another keeper.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Watch your balance, everybody.
What a beautiful fish. I couldn't even feel that thing. I almost pulled that rod right out of my...
It's cold, isn't it?
Oh, I'm cold.
Wow. Look at that. Another nice steelhead. Again, another keeper. See that? That was clipped at the hatchery.
Kyle, you're a great guy, buddy.
I told you it was my favorite hole, didn't I?
Yeah.
The money hole.
Money hole.
The money hole produced.
Great day, everybody. Let's go warm up.
I have never had so much fun steelhead fishing and been so cold. Did you see me sucking on my fingers for a little bit trying to warm them? I put those fingers in my mouth. I didn't even know they were there until I tasted the fish on them.
Yeah. You know, another day in the Guides Journal.
I'll tell you what an epic day, one I'll never forget.
And you know what the best part about it is that what happened today is going to be in this book.
Absolutely.
For our sons and daughters to try. It's awesome.
And also for the viewers, hope you guys enjoyed coming with us on this incredible day. I sure as hell enjoyed it.
Cheers, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This is a wrap. Yeah! The size of that baby. Woo!